Hey guys, it's John C. Morley here, serial entrepreneur. Welcome once again to IFYL. It is Saturday, July 9th, and just getting this in under the wire so that we can get it in before midnight. We have a brand new master topic. We're on day one. For those of you that are new, there is a QR code that just appeared in the top right. Use your phone, scan that QR code. You can get all kinds of great information about how to become a better version of yourself and how to help other people become better versions of themselves. If you have any problems scanning the QR code, just go to believemeachieve.com and there's lots of great stuff there. But what you're going to want to do is click on the top button that says John's Daily National Day Video. Every single day, I take what the National is actually causing the problem. We had a little bit of an audio glitch there. But what is it that is, getting people to be motivated? And I think what happens for a lot of people is that, they want to see something. Like today, I actually did a tribute to 4th of July because today was National Sugar Cookie Day. And I made an American flag out of sugar cookie. And I took a lot of time, using food coloring to dye it red and then blue. And then I used the regular color and I made little balls for the instead of stripes, I did like little balls like red and blue, and then I did a little blue square for where the corner of the flag would be. So it was really cool. And thank you so much for popping by. It's great to see you here. We have our new master topic starting today. And for those of you that are coming back, welcome back, my friends, colleagues, and wonderful associates. Thank you for joining me. It's so great to have you here with me. And hopefully the new people will become loyal just like all of you have been. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. So our master topic is how to have fun along the journey of success. Whoa, that's a mouthful. How to have fun along the journey of success. Now, you've heard me say many times before that I never work a day in my life. You heard me say that right. I never work a day in my life. Why is that? Well, because every time I'm doing something, I'm always having fun. That's pretty cool, right? I'm having fun every single day of my life. Now, do you have fun every single day of your life? That's what I want to ask you. Do you have fun every single day of your life? If you don't, well, you could change that. So, how do you have fun along the way? You might say, John, oh, life is hard. It's challenging. I don't know what to do. So, can you stop for a moment and smell the roses? I mean, can you? Can you stop there for a second and just smell the roses? If you can, I mean, that's going to make life really pretty amazing for you. But if you can't, how can you make your life fun? How can you make it fun? And you might say to me, John, I have work. Well, if you're doing work because someone else is telling you to do it, but you're not doing it because you want to do it, because you're passionate about it, everything you're doing, my friends, in life is going to be work. Okay. So you got to figure out that, you can have something you really like to do, but you got to be passionate about it. Hobbies are okay, but they're not always the greatest things to turn businesses into, because some people have a hobby, but then it's like, I'll play with the model trains or the cars or the airplane when I get time, or if I can do this. It's like it's not a priority for the person. So if you don't have something that you are passionate about, well, you need to rethink. There's lots of things in life that you're passionate about. Maybe you just don't know what they are. Maybe you need to just think. Maybe you just need to do a brainstorm. A real simple way to do that is take a piece of paper. Really old fashioned way, you draw a circle in the center of the paper and you write down what it is. Let's say something, you could put something like something you're passionate about. Maybe that's, I don't know, maybe that's knowledge. So you can put knowledge. Then you could draw another line and put a cluster to what that's going to go to. Knowledge. Well, let's see. I want to go to this cluster, and I would say my knowledge has to do with I don't know, technology. So then you could do another one off of that, and you can kind of like shoot. You get the idea. So then you can refine that, and as you refine that down, you can start to realize from that big diagram, that little chart. It's a flow chart. Well, it's not really a flow chart. It's a brain diagram that kind of, it's a flow, and the circle chart gets you to be very broad, and then you can then get specific in those different areas. Like if we tapped into, let's say, technology, and we got into a certain technology was AI, well, then we could narrow AI down to people, robots, ethics, vendor faults, right? We can start to do that. Now, the reason people are not having fun in business is because they're not doing what they like. They're doing something that either their parents told them to do, their brother, their sister, their relative, but they're not enjoying life because they really don't want to be an accountant, or they really don't want to be an engineer. I love being an engineer, but maybe they don't like that. And if they don't like that, well, then there's nothing wrong with it. It's just, that's not going to be what fuels people, right? Or fuels that person. So you have to figure out, what is it you're passionate about? And if you're not sure, then explore different things in your life, right? You might say, well, gee, John, this is the only job I could get. No, it's the only job that you accepted because it's the only possibility that you opened up to. You see, when you start to broaden your horizons and start to realize what's there, you're like, oh, wait a minute, I could do that too, or I actually could be good at that. However, you don't give yourself credit to actually think about these things because you're like, well, I'm meant to be a doctor. I'm meant to be a lawyer. Oh, meant to be it by who? By your parents, by a teacher, by who? Well, we want you to make a lot of money and you're going to be a doctor or a lawyer. Okay, but you become a doctor or a lawyer and then you're miserable with life. And then maybe you make some money, but then maybe you don't. And then maybe the rest of your life goes downhill because you're so drained that you don't enjoy it. You see, your career, what you do for a living, should recharge you. It should make you passionate. Many of you know I own several companies. One of them's a tech company. And I have to tell you, technology is something I'm very passionate about. And, whether it's being at home or in the office, I get passionate about technology. If there's something in my head and I can't figure out that moment, I may go to bed, but then it's like my mind's working on it all night, and I wake, I'm like, I got the solution. And it's not work for me. I remember doing something for a client many, many years ago. And the person's like, wow, you have a lot of patience. I said, no, I love doing this. And then also dealing with people. Are you a people person? I am. I like people. I like different people. And a lot of people will, how do I say this in a nice way? They will suck you out for the things they can get from you, okay? And then they'll kick you to the curb. Now, not because you're a bad person, it's because they're an opportunist. And because they haven't learned how to foster good relationships in life. They have no idea. And so if they have no idea how to do that, then how can you ever do something, right? Well, you probably say, well, gee, this is the way everybody does it. Well, it's not. So one thing we have to do is we have to become passionate. That's number one. We're going to be talking about this all week, about how you can, have fun along the way. You can create milestones, right? You can make, and we'll talk more about this tomorrow and the rest of the week. You can have games that you can play with yourself. And these games can challenge you and challenge others. A wise person once said to me, his name is Tom Hopkins, and I was to a couple of his boot camps. And when I went to his boot camp, First time I went myself. Then every other time I've gone, I've brought in staff, and I always say, they're either going to sink or swim. They're like, "Oh, this place is brutal." No, it's not brutal. It's a good way to find out: do you have what it takes to be a salesperson, or are you going to swim when you get out there, or are you going to sink? So why wait for that moment? Why don't we just put you to the sharks and see if you can handle it? Some people come back and they quit in a day or so because they're like, "Hey, John, this is like constant. Like I got in there was a seminar, and then and then I don't know. This guy said I owed him money or something. Yeah, they give you money, and then you have to give. Well, I wasn't playing. Like I was out of the room. You understand? The game goes on from the moment they start the game to the moment you leave. So whether you're at dinner, whether you're swimming, wherever you are, they might say, "Okay, I bet you can't name 3 signs failure isn't failure." He's like, "I don't know. I'm swimming and relaxing." Okay, you owe me $10. I never believe failure is failure, but only as a way to practice my technique and perfect my performance. I never see failure as failure, but as an opportunity to laugh. I never see failure as failure, but a game I must play to win. And he said something very interesting to me, Tom. He said to me in this group, he said that life is a big game. You got to suit up every day before you leave your home. You got to have your armor on you. You got to be ready. And when you're ready, then you can handle the day. You got to suit up. You got to be prepared. And if you're not, like you can't be saying, I went out to the person and I asked him to buy from me, and he said no. Comes back to the we were telling stories, and he comes back. One of the guys comes back and he's saying, "Well, why don't you like sales?" Well, because every time I go out and I talk to people, they tell me they don't want to talk to me. And then you come back, and then you have this sourpuss on your face, and you feel miserable and depressed, and you want everybody around to cheer you up when you actually went out selling the wrong way. You see, when you sell in a manner that puts yourself first, you're going to lose every single time. There are techniques you can learn, but one thing you have to realize is that when something's a challenge, you have to make it fun. Let me give you an example. When I was younger, I didn't know how to roller skate, but I would go to girls and guys' birthday parties all the time, and they were roller skating parties. I'm like, I don't know how to skate. And so one time, I remember I'd put the skates on, and I would get on the rink, and I would be like, "Don't touch me, don't come around me." And you'd be moving so slow, but you were just so happy that you were moving. And I'm like, this isn't skating. This is a disaster, is what this is. And so finally, I realized that I need to do something different. So I needed to take the bull by the horns, and I needed to do something that was hard. I needed to fall. I needed to get up. I needed to keep doing that, and I needed to get my balance, and I needed to learn how to stop. And I need to learn how to do something that was causing me to trip every single time. I remember 2 things that were really difficult for me. And I could be on the floor and I was okay, but it was getting on the floor and getting off the floor. What do you mean? Well, there was this ramp, and I couldn't go up the ramp. Every time I went the ramp, I would trip or I would fall. And you have to have enough momentum so you can go up the ramp. And then when you come down, you have to have enough momentum going down. Otherwise, if you're too slow, you'll lose your balance. So I saw skating as this cool game I wanted to play. Now let's think about sales for a moment, right? Sales is a game. You go out there, you talk to people, and you listen, hopefully. But sales is a game. Social media is a game too. You put one post up and you might say, well, gee, I got, I got zero. Then you come back and you're like, oh my gosh, I got close to 7,800. Why? Think of it as a game. So you might post one or two things and you get like 5 or 6, or you get nothing. Hopefully you don't get nothing, but you get nothing. You're like, I put all this effort, I put all this work in, and nobody liked what I posted. I mean, I put so much time and so much effort, and nobody liked my video. Get over it. It's a game. Figure out what people want and deliver it to them. Look at trends, right? See everything you do in life as a game. Now, I don't say to not take life seriously. I'm saying see everything as a challenge, a fun challenge. And when you understand that fun challenge, well, then you can tweak it, you can change it, and you could perfect it so that you could become better at what you're doing. I mean, I think that is like the most important thing. But a lot of people I know don't believe in that. People are like, oh, well, I went out there, I spent all this time, and I didn't get anything. And then they complain, well, I had to pay gas money and I got out there and he was really mean to me. Oh, yeah, he was so mean to me. Well, what did you do? Well, I went there and I told them that I have these window cleaners and I wanted to sell them to him. And he said, no, that's because you didn't find his pain point. What do you mean? Maybe you should have asked him, what is you should ask them a question like, did you know that your windows are actually costing you business? And let's just pretend for a moment that I asked the gentleman that question. I say, your windows are actually costing you business. He's going to scratch his head. He's not going to throw you out because you're not a typical salesperson. What do you mean there? Well, you sell nice cars here, right? Luxurious cars, right? And people coming in that want to buy these cars want to look at them, but sometimes they don't come in the store. Sometimes they look at them outside, or sometimes they look at them on the day you're closed and they can't go in when you're closed, right? That's what's your point. Well, they look in the window and they see this cloudiness. Now, I don't know about you, but if I was buying a $100,000, $200,000 car, I certainly wouldn't go to a dealership that had a cloud between me and what I want to buy. So what do you mean? Meaning that you're preventing your sales. Well, what do you recommend? Well, let's just say there was a way to get rid of that fog, that smog, right? Yeah. And let's just say that was a way to improve customers' ability to reach out to you or to contact you because they've had more opportunities, right? And the windows were clear. So how do I do that? Simple. Use a company like ours that can actually help keep your windows sparkling clean all the time. And for less than a cup of coffee a day, 2 of our professional team men can come out here and clean your windows and make them glisten and shine from the inside and the outside. So then you talk to the person and he says, sounds interesting. Well, you obviously know that having an unclear window is going to make it hard for people to look at these really sexy, attractive, gorgeous cars. And you know that there's other dealerships up the road that sell cars just like yours. And I know that you're a smart man, being the manager of this dealership for, 20 years, 25. Wow. Congratulations. 25 years. And I know that your boss would be happy that you took the initiative to hire a company like ours to make sure that your prospects are able to see what they're buying. After all, you wouldn't want your boss to come back to you and ask you why the windows are dirty, would you? No. Well, he hasn't. He hasn't. But maybe he may. And if a customer brought that to his attention, maybe he'd come over to you and say, maybe you're not the right person for this dealership anymore. You're missing the small details, like having a clean window or having the right pastries in the cafe. What do you mean? I was at the cafe today and I noticed all the pastries were not fresh. You sell pastries too? I don't, but my friend has a whole pastry truck, which that's another day. But these little details are what make the difference to commencing a sale. So my question for you is, do you want us to start on the 1st of the month or on the 15th of the month? And would you like to pay weekly, monthly, quarterly, or yearly? If you pay yearly, I can save you an additional 10%. And you see how that worked? It was very natural. So we'll talk more about this, but having a conversation with people is what sales is about. However, when your ego gets in the way and says, I'm more important than everyone else, that's when they shut down and they don't want to talk to you. When you find a client's pain point, their ears perk up, their eyes are looking at you because you found a pain in something that might be taking money out of their pocket. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, you know who I am. I'm John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur. It's been a privilege, a pleasure, and an honor to be with you this evening as we are launching into our brand new series, How to Have Fun Along the Journey of Success. Success is a journey, and you have to learn to embrace it and how to tweak those little things which might be the difference to you becoming that top salesperson at your company or being that top entrepreneur, serial entrepreneur that you've been striving for so long. I hope you have a great rest of your night, and I'll be back tomorrow, Sunday, with another great episode to continue on how to have fun along the journey of success. Because if we don't have fun in life, well, guess what? Someone else will, and they're going to be getting all the profits. Have yourself a great rest of your night, and I will see you guys when? That's right. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care, everyone.